It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go Thursday show, September 21st, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com if you're watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, we say hello. However, you are consuming Woodward Sports Network, we appreciate you. And Braylon Edwards, we appreciate you. Good afternoon, my friend.
In the words of the three elements, earth, wind, and fire, do you remember the 21st day of September? I do, because I was golfing my ass off before I had to come to work. Ryan Ermanni, I fixed the shaft pause on my golf club, got an extra stiff shaft pause as opposed to the flexible 9.5.
What was that?
I love it when you say pause, man.
Instantly start driving the ball further, and it was straight. I'm here to tell you, it does matter in golf what your flexibility is on the shaft. Pause again.
I love that when you say pause.
You have to, though.
You got to pause, though. When you say pause, you should pause.
Once you throw the pause out there, people know I acknowledge the moment. I love that you can say pause, because you could do something else before pause, and Roy Hibbert got in trouble for saying that. So pause is still politically correct.
It is.
Pause.
Oh, yeah, pause. Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hey, fellas, first question I got for you. Is this shirt offending anybody today?
Oh, my God, I'm so glad you brought that up.
I mean, I've never been hammered more for wearing an effing T-shirt.
You wear every team in professional sports, including NCAA teams.
Yes.
How can somebody be mad at Tom Mazaway?
All over me yesterday.
Yeah.
All over
Maz,
me.
I was so tired of seeing it
I
on
saw
Twitter.
you. You finally stopped by.
I had to jump in and say something along the lines of,
It's a
Tom
shirt.
Mazaway is an NFL fan. He has every single team in his wardrobe. And I think
Except
that's the
Patriots.
only kind of clothing he has.
It is.
Correct.
Something with an NFL team
That was a
logo
shot,
on
by
it.
the
That's a
way.
fact.
It's just a shirt. And then the guy, it's kind of like, it's partly sunny. And then the guy said, no, it's mostly cloudy.
Right.
The guy says, no, it's never just a shirt. He couldn't accept that I jumped in to give him a little background on
He was
something.
pissed that Tom had some
man.
assistance.
Do you know I almost wore my black Chicago White Sox shirt today? And then I'm like, I can't wear it because I'm going to get abused.
I can get that signed for you.
I know you could.
Oh, that's right.
Chris Getz.
Chris
I
Getz.
can get that signed for you. The general manager of the Chicago White Sox. Hey, the Tigers have a new general manager today,
They do.
by the way. How about that?
Some guy named Greenberg.
Yeah, something about that.
Yeah.
Jeff Greenberg.
Jeff
who-
Greenberg.
How old is this guy?
This is just the direction it's going.
Is he 23?
Yeah.
I mean, he's...
I think he worked at Birmingham Roast.
Oh, man.
By the way,
They go
nobody,
younger and younger.
and I say nobody, sweeps the Detroit Tigers.
Okay,
Tell
me the story.
tell him about the money,
Go
Tom.
ahead.
Go
Come
ahead.
on,
Let me
man.
t-
I've always said that. And
He's 37, by the way, Jeff Greenberg.
it's partially true, especially
Let
at
me
the
talk
second
to
half of the year.
my age.
Tigers are always at least stealing the game. So yesterday, I'm sitting in the back after the show, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll take myself up on my own advice. So I go into my account, and I had like $120 left.
Oh, good.
There
So I
you go.
took
Some
50 of it,
stretch.
and I threw $50 to win on the Tigers on the money line.
Ooh,
And they were plus
ballsy.
220.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
So,
so I
you won
pulled-
like 50 to win like 70 or
Yeah,
something like that?
I pulled out like $118 by the time it was all said and done.
That's incredible.
I bet against the freaking Dodgers and
Look at
Reese
you.
Olson. Thank you.
I love Reese Olson, by the way.
Me too.
This is a guy that I don't think anything was expected of Reese Olson at all this year or for this organization. And all he's done is come in. I think he's got allowed 5 earned runs in the
Yes.
last 30 innings he's pitched. This guy's been lights out, Reese
I was
Olson.
there when he had 6 no-hit innings against, I forgot what team it was, but 6 no-hit innings. The kid's good.
This is great. This is another sign for Detroit sports. We talked about the Red Wings, kind of what they're doing. The Eyes are playing this year. They finished much better than they did last year. The Red Wings seem like they're getting. The Tigers. They have some young players. Spencer Torkelson's he's knocking on 30's door. So seems like they have some young players. But I just hate that it's always next year.
Yep.
Hey, and we got to stop using the term steal. Like our city can't be the one stealing games from people. Yesterday we were talking about stealing. The Lions need to steal a game. Now it's like the Tigers steal a game. I can't wait till we can retire that phrase for Detroit sports.
Hey, by the way,
Stealing
Riley Green,
games.
as predicted, he had Tommy John surgery. They do say he'll be back for grapefruit season. I'll hold my breath on that.
What's the difference between?
I was just going to say, Tommy John surgery on his non-throwing elbow,
Right.
though. So, we've seen players come back from this, most notably Brock Purdy.
And Bryce Young.
Which is true.
Brock Purdy is playing NFL football.
Bryce Harper.
5 months, 6 months after he had the surgery. So, I mean, if Brock Purdy can play NFL football, I would think that maybe it is true that Riley Green can come back at the beginning of next year and kind of continue on here.
Why don't they use Tommy John in football, though? In football, they talk about UCL. Like, that's what they use. Josh Allen, it was UCL. And it was Brock Purdy. He tore his UCL.
Maybe I'll call it Brock Purdy. Maybe I'll call it Purdy.
This is true. It's always the first person they name it after. You got a point. Maybe they will do it.
All right, guys. Let me tell you that we have some exciting things happening, including the post-game show here on Woodward Sports Network. Tom Mazaway, the guy right over here.
Right there.
He should be reading this one. My goodness, Tom Mazaway.
I can tell you, I'll be there.
Go ahead, talk to me about
I'll
the post-game
see you on
show.
Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons and the Lions. We'll be there right after our watch party on Woodward Sports. Make sure you check us out on our YouTube channel. We will be taking phone calls. We love it when you guys are there. Lions got to win this game. Hopefully it's going to be a happy one like it was a couple of weeks ago on a Thursday night. We'll see you on Sunday afternoon right after that Lion game.
How about that for a box? The box within the box.
Oh, look at that. The box within the box. Now you got to find the box and throw me in the small part.
Let's jump into a little Detroit Lions here. Braylon, I've been anticipating this discussion with you because of the big toe. I'm on Ross St. Brown, who is dealing with a toe right now, toe injury, toe hurtness, toe something. Was back at practice today. That is a good sign.
Very good.
Very good sign today that Amon Ross St. Brown was back at practice today. He did not practice yesterday. How important is the big toe to what you do as a wide receiver?
It's very important.
Yeah.
It's just like a hand, you know what I'm saying, for on the toes. Like those three toes next to them, from the big toe, the next one, and the one in the middle, those are the ones that you're planning off of. Those are the ones that you're putting in the ground. Those are the ones that you're getting your directional pattern from. When you're running routes, when you want to accelerate, you really want to dig those toes into the ground, the balls of your feet. You're really using that big toe to really dig. That's your digger for you. So especially depends on what side it is. If it's his right toe, when he's going to plant on the left sideline, trying to go to that sideline, that route's going to hurt a little bit more because he's going to have to put his right toe in the ground to get this way. So watch him on the left sideline. Anything, he might have to play on the right sideline, especially when you want to break out because of the big toe. So it'll be a factor. But, hey, he practiced today. He's going strong. So it probably, like I said, he's still younger. So he probably got a shot, probably feels good. He and Dan Campbell probably sat down and had a real conversation. Hey, look, if you don't think you'll be able to go, look, we don't want to chance it. So I need you to be honest with me. And I think that's when you have the trust between the coach and the player, to where you can trust the player to tell you, nah, coach, I really can't go. And the player's not lying to you. Or you can trust the coach to do what's right by the player. So it's a good relationship by them. Like I said, he's young. He's going to go out there. He wants to play. He knows that he is very vital and very pivotal for the Detroit Lions' success on offense. He knows he's the guy. He's been the guy since they implemented him as a starter his rookie year. He wants to play. He's the guy that's got to play.
I finished the second half again yesterday. Watched it again yesterday, and I watched when they took him off the field and they fixed his shoe. They put something in his shoe so it doesn't have
something,
so it won't bend as much. Right?
Yeah.
So and then they taped his toe together, and they sent him out there. So and then he wound up getting a first down on that fourth down catch. So hey, if the guy's out there practicing, I believe he plays on Sunday.
And
no doubt, right?
Yeah, and also too, it's a part of that what do you call it, the prosthetic or the sole that they're going to put in there for his foot.
Yep.
He wants to get some reps to see how it feels. Can you make it a little stiffer so that it gives you that cushion right up under the big toe so it doesn't flex as much. When it moves is when you feel it, and when you start to feel it, that's when it gets to a point where you can't tolerate the pain. So the more they can keep it stiff in the shoe, the more he'll be able to play throughout that pain and be able to last longer in the quarters.
You know, I'd like to believe too that Amon Ross St. Brown is going to want to play. If you ask him whether he wants to play or if he could deal with the quote-unquote pain, you know Amon-Ra is going to play every time. And look, the team obviously is not going to do anything to put him in jeopardy, but I mentioned it yesterday. You do have a division game on the road in 3 days after this one. Or 4 days after this one. If he does 3 days rest, if he does play, you hope that it's not at the expense of playing next week against the Packers. And if this is something that is gonna continuously recur, kind of an injury, it is something to look at in terms of sitting him this week. I'd rather sit him this week and try to get through the Falcons game than make it worse and have him be out, through the bye.
Understood that too, but Ryan and Ermanni, I'm in favor of them, going through the week, limited as possible, getting through, getting the soul right, getting to the game on Sunday, and then testing to see what it is. Coming to the game with a game plan and say, hey, look, you know what, we got to have you on a 15-play pitch count or a 20-play pitch count. Pitch counting. That is still a real thing in the NFL. You can pitch count this guy. DeAndre Swift pitch counted last year a lot, and he had some notable successful moments, most notably in the second game against Seattle. He only played a couple there, had too much fluid in my knee. I just couldn't go, but I did a warm-up before the game. See if he can go. If he's not feeling up to it on game day, then you sit him down, and then you get ready for Jordan Love in Green Bay.
Outside of Jared Goff, I just believe that he is the most important member of the Detroit Lions team. Yeah. Without him, it is, tough to win. But at the same time, there is a guy named Josh Reynolds. And Braylon, we were talking about this today. Josh Reynolds has been, to me, the unsung hero of the Detroit Lions offense through 2 games. In 9 catches, 13 targets. All 9 of them have been for first downs. He's scored twice. He has been as consistent a player as we've seen on offense. And the Lions offense, by the way, in terms of total yards, ranked 3rd in the NFL. 393 yards a game.
Yeah, and that's something. You're talking about just around 80% efficiency rate when Jared Goff throws the ball to Josh Reynolds. Another thing I like about Josh Reynolds is I'm watching the first 2 games, he's super relaxed. He never gets up. He never gets excited. He never gets depressed. He's always even keel. That's a great trait that a quarterback wants to see out of a receiver. Look, Ben Johnson does have other weapons to play with. He's got Khalif Raymond. We know what he can do. You saw him in the flea flicker touchdown. We know the type of explosion he has in the punt returning game. Josh Reynolds is playing good football. We've seen Sam Laporta now. 2 games.
He looked good.
2 games. He's had 5 catches in each game. You also have Brock Wright. You also have other tight ends. And, oh, by the way, there's still a guy named Jahmyr Gibbs that you moved up to pick up in the first round this past year. So there's some talent for Ben Johnson to come up with a game plan against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not counting them out. I think Jared Goff can still really have a really good game. It's all going to depend on how Ben Johnson put them guys together.
I think Laporta is going to have a huge game.
I agree.
He is that guy we were talking about, the missing wide receiver. He's hit. And it looks like Jared Goff and him are lockstep together. And they're working this kid. You heard Dan Campbell yesterday, we played it. Maybe this kid isn't as good in practice because they beat him. But when he's in that game, he steps up. And the catch he made late in the 4th quarter against Seattle
broke the 2 tackles.
Was awesome.
Yeah,
no doubt. Guys, they're going to need Jahmyr Gibbs to step up as well. You'll hear what Jared Goff has to say about the Lions rookie running back. We'll do that next. You'll hear from him next. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has been providing Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You could experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit their in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. If you can't make it in person, you can order online. They ship next day. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com.
Cut, prime, aged, packed to perfection.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com. as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Hey, what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more great products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They're located in Ferndale, and they offer the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. Located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And, of course, looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, go ahead and look in Les Stanford in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella, lesstanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new road.
Find him.
I mean, I think back all the way to OTAs with him, like just his growth and, you know, his route running ability, obviously, and his catching ability has gotten so much better and continues to get better. And then just, you know, obviously him off the ball and seeing his vision get better as time has gone on. And he's a hell of a talent, a guy we rely on, and I think he's done a really good job for his first year.
And that was Jared Goff talking about Lions rookie running back, Jahmyr Gibbs. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, hello. Hit that subscribe button. Coming up on 50,000 subscribers on this platform. Hit the like button as well. Let's see if we can get to over 100 likes by the end of the hour. Braylon, the importance of Jahmyr Gibbs. And I think this is a big week.
Yeah.
You know, all these questions, Braylon, that we have been, all these statements really, they weren't really questions. But these Lions are different. This regime is different. These players are different. This owner is different. The general manager, the head coach, everything about the culture of the Detroit Lions is different. We are going to find out really quick. I know it's early in the season, but as far as early games go for just about anybody in the National Football League, I think we're going to learn a lot about the Detroit Lions this week. What are they made of? Can they come back from a tough loss against Seattle? Can they come back from the injuries? Is this roster as deep as we thought it was coming into this season? There's a lot of questions. We're going to get a lot of answers on Sunday.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of answers, and, you know, it's time to pay the piper. You know, when you break it down, the Detroit Lions coming into the season, a lot of people had them definitely to win the division, but some people had them to get to the NFC Championship game. You talked about the depth. You talked about the offensive line. You talk about the quarterback play. You talk about the new people that you brought on the defense, a defense that wasn't that good at the beginning, but became very good at the end. You added pieces to that. Now you mix all that together. You win week 1, then you lose week 2. Injuries, there were some injuries, but you got to win that game. Like, you got to find ways to win. This is supposed to be the brand new Lions. You got to find ways to win that game. Whether it's coaching, whether it's playing, you got to find ways to win. Now, that game's over. Moving on to Atlanta Falcons. This is the chance, Ryan, like you said, for the Detroit Lions to show that they are no longer the same old Lions. This is a chance to come out at home, mind you, back-to-back weeks. You come against a team in Atlanta Falcons that hasn't figured their offense out yet. They know they got Bijan Robinson, but not much on the outside and not much out of Kyle Pitts, not much out of Desmond Ridder. Don't let them get started. Find ways to get this offensive line to get some yards for Jahmyr Gibbs or Craig Reynolds or whoever's going to run the ball. Jared Goff, be the guy you were last year, not turn the ball over. We don't expect you to go every game without making turnovers, but be that guy that was the steady hand that got us into field goal range, that got us in the touchdown range, just like you were last week. The first possession of the game for the Lions, to me, was the most impressive thing the Lions did all game. Geno Smith and them go down there, 7 minutes, quiet the crowd. What did the Detroit Lions come right back and do, man? They march right back down there and they score right back. It's your turn, Seattle. Be that team. They got to win this week. This is a must-win for the Detroit Lions, but the good thing is, Ryan, they can win this game. They should dominate on defense, and on offense, I want to see that offensive line get some movement going forward.
I can't trump what he said. This is, to me, it's week 3, but you got to win. You can't go 0-2 at home, 0-2 against the NFC to begin your season. Last year they started 1-6. You cannot dig a hole. You can't dig a hole and expect to just dig out of it. Last year they got healthy in the second half of the year. Guess what? They're going to have to do that again because they're down 5 starters, maybe 6 players when you go all the way around. It's just was not a good week last week for the Lions. They lost a lot last week, and you've got to see development out of the running game. The wideouts got to help, and, of course, the defensive line. You got to step up. Jared Goff, he's done his job.
And also, too, you look at it like this. When we were talking about the season before it started, you're pointing out wins and losses. You're looking at certain teams. And when we went down there, we looked at Kansas City. We said maybe, Seahawks, maybe. But then after that, what did we say? Win against the Falcons, win against the Packers, win against the Panthers, win against the Bucks, blah, blah, blah. Well, now the NFL season started. The more information you have, this is still the NFL. It's not going to get easier as you go. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, sorry, they're 2-0. Doesn't matter how they're 2-0. Currently, right now, they're 2-0. The Green Bay Packers, looks like they have a better offense than we thought. Defense still got some players. Jair Alexander, one of the best defensive backs in the league. And then, here comes the Ravens. It's not going to get easier. So you need to find yourself. Identity is what we talked about. Get that identity going. Get a win. It's only now. You're not worried about next week. You're not worried about the following week. It's just the Atlanta Falcons. Get a win, get some identity, get some stuff going.
And speaking of identity, too, part of the Detroit Lions' identity, what they want it to be, is toughness.
Yeah.
And you could look no further than Tracy Walker when it comes to toughness, both physically and mentally tough. Here's what Tracy Walker had to say about his return to the starting lineup.
It's a tough situation. Losing CJ, he definitely brought a different aspect to our team. His energy, his enthusiasm is definitely going to be missed. Like I said, he's definitely a great player for us. For me, I just look at it as a great opportunity for me to come back. Considering I'm coming back from my injury, like I said, it's a special week for me considering the week it's the same week I tore my Achilles. So it's such a blessing for me, and I'm just looking at it just to capitalize on the opportunity right now.
First of all, I didn't know Tracy Walker was a Sigma, so shout out to my Sigma brother. I saw that tat right there. Blue fire, But look, Tracy Walker's coming back. This is the week he got injured last week, which means he's had 365 days to heal, or 2 years technically, to heal that, to get back. Also, Tracy's not one of the younger guys on the team. It may seem that way, Matt. Tracy's year 6. This is year 6 for Tracy Walker, so he needs to have that veteran energy when he goes on the field. He knows how to make plays and also get guys going. The key for the Lions on defense is to get the crowd going, but make plays. Got to make plays. Get some sacks. Get an interception. Get some pass deflections. Once you do that and once you get Ford Field into it, Ford Field was waiting to erupt for the Lions that last Sunday. They were ready. They got close. They were up 21-7. I think it was there. But they were close. Ford Field's ready to erupt. The defense has to give them a reason to erupt and take the Falcons out of the game.
And I see somebody in the chat, speaking of defense, and I spoke about this a little bit yesterday, and just not at the expense of not repeating myself, but somebody said Aaron Glenn's got to get out of here. Aaron Glenn sucks. And I'll go back to this, man. And maybe you don't want to look at last year, but I will take – in the whole body of work with Aaron Glenn, the last 12 games his team has played, they've held 7 of the 12 opponents have been held to 20 points or less. So I don't think he sucks. And I will look at the turnovers last week as a part of that. 7 of those points were to Jared Goff. And then the other 2 times they scored touchdowns off of turnovers was a fumble by David Montgomery deep inside their own zone, and a 4th and 2 call inside their 40 that put the defense in a really bad place. I think Dan Campbell can help Aaron Glenn a little bit by some of the decision making that he makes, but I don't believe that Aaron Glenn sucks or has to go. And I just we'll see what happens this week. Okay, can you at least reserve judgment? If you don't want to go back to last week, just reserve judgment to this week. Okay, so they held Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, and I don't care who dropped passes. I don't care who didn't play. They held Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City to 20 points. So then last week, yes, Geno Smith put up some passing yards. It was a bend, don't break. Let's see what Desmond Ridder and Bijan Robinson do this week against the Lions. Can we just not panic? I know it's popular for everybody to come out here and lose their minds and come out here with all these hot takes, and it's this roller coaster of emotions. And yes, it sucked that they lost last week. I fully agree with you. But that's a game they would have won 9 times out of 10. And they should have won that game, if not for the turnovers. So forgive me if I'm not ready to start calling for this coach or this coordinator or that coordinator to be escorted out of the building.
Yeah, I'm definitely not calling for Aaron Glenn's job. But at the same time, when people have if they're worried about Aaron Glenn, I can't say they're wrong. At the end of the day, you look at it like this: the Kansas City Chiefs game. Yes, you don't care that they dropped the passes. It's just blah blah blah. But what you do care about, Ryan, is the fact that they were in position, wide open to catch passes. 5 of them to be at 5 drops, but all 5 of those passes, they were wide open to catch those passes. That's on the defense. Defense has got to be in position to make plays, and so you transfer that over to the Seattle Seahawks game, and then once again, you got Geno Smith when he's given time, just picking it apart. So no, I'm not trying to kick him out the business, but at the same time, I'm keeping a close eye on it, if you will, and this is a good week for them. They don't pass the ball down there in the Falcons. So this is a really good week for the defense, for the Detroit Lions, and Aaron Glenn to get back on track. Yes, defense, with the turnovers, you lose a turnover about 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose the game. But at the same time, that can't be the excuse because every team that turns the ball over doesn't lose. So
they don't want to make Desmond Ridder, they don't want to give him any confidence. Don't turn him into something he's really not. He's just an average quarterback. We really don't know much about him. They have Bijan Robinson. They have Kyle Pitts. Besides that, you really couldn't name a guy. Tyler Algier is a good running back as well.
They got Tyler Algier?
Yeah, Tyler Algier.
Oh, my gosh.
No one pays attention to that guy, but he's a good player.
Yeah.
I wish we had him.
Laugh.
I wish we had him. Matter of fact, I wish we would have had the guy that the Vikings has traded for, Cam Akers, as a backup. They got him for a 6th-round pick. That's another story. I just wish they had a little bit more depth at the wide receiver and obviously at the running back right now. That's all I'm worried about.
This is what I do want to see, Ryan, and getting it back to the physicality. This is a game that you want to see toughness. This is also a great opponent to be tough with. This is a physical team. They have been a physical team for the last year, and even their first 2 games going into this season. Last year, they were in a lot of dogfights. Arthur Smith is a good coach. He has the pulse of these guys, and they will hit you. They will hit you in the mouth. We're supposed to be the tough team. Grit, villain, that's where we are. And last time I checked, this game is at home. Don't let this team from Atlanta come up here and out-grit you, out-villain you, out-tough you. This is supposed to be the physicality statement for the Detroit Lions coming off a loss to the Seattle Seahawks. This has got to be a statement game in terms of, I don't care if the Lions win 17-13. I don't care if they win 10-9. I care that they out-physical the Atlanta Falcons. It's one of those type of games.
You know who's big game for this is, Ryan? It's your guy, John Kaminsky.
Yeah.
Former Falcon.
Former Falcon.
Yeah.
He's gonna be raring to go and hit his old teammate right in the mouth. I look for a great game out of the commissioner.
And my guy Bugs. Put Bugs next to Kaminsky and let him go.
Put him in there.
Put Bugs next to Kaminsky.
He hasn't been active yet.
Let him go. He will be active this week. That's my pledge.
What is going on
I
with
don't
that?
know,
Do we have
man.
any information? I ran into Terry Foster. Shout out to T-Foss. I ran into him at the Apple Orchard yesterday. He said he's trying to hit his guys up on the inside to see what it is. It's like mums the word in Allen Park about Isaiah Buggs and how that relationship is. As a former player, it can only be something that happened outside the field or a weight problem. Those are only 2 things.
That could be it.
Weight problem or something off the field.
Guys, I want to play a little game with you next that I'm thinking about now. It's a little bit of what's the multiple choice? It's a multiple choice question.
Ooh,
it's
like
A,
ACT?
B, or C.
Oh.
That's what we're going to play next. You guys ready?
I'm
and I'm going to get Parker and JB involved. It's A, B, or C.
Those are the best tests for me.
That's it.
That was it.
You only got 3 choices.
I took a guess.
But guys,
I just guessed.
We'll take a break. When we come back, A, B, or C. But we'll get a message in from Big Boy.
B
Big Boy.
for Big Boy. That's right.
There you
It's
go.
burger time. Try the new butter Thunder Cake. And, of course, the funnel cake fries. All that and more at your local Big Boy.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You vote while the misses. Join Maz, Dick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house with a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. That soccer field can be used for 7-on-7 football. They have K-8 that features AM and PM latchkeys, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and obviously so much more. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment. I'm 22, I don't have kids, but I know I'd be sending them there when I have them eventually. So go to the academyofwarren.net, that website again, academyofwarren.net.
It's a big commitment. I'm holding you to it.
No doubt, guys. Hey, welcome in Woodward Sports Network. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. Tell a friend about Woodward Sports. Coming up on 50,000 subscribers. Also, hit the like button. Helps YouTube push our content out to more people. The more people that see us, the better it is for everybody, we believe. We think we have the best football content coming up. At top of hour number 2, we're going to be joined by D. Orlando Ledbetter. He's the Falcons beat reporter for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, covers the Falcons. So we'll be joined by him in about 27 minutes from now. But guys, it is time now for a game that I just made up off the top of my head. A, B, or C.
Great game.
Great game. Great game. Okay, everybody in the chat, feel free to play. Are you ready?
Let's go.
7 days from today, the Detroit Lions could be A, 3-1, B, 2-2, or C, 1-3. How about a little game show music?
Oh, I love
perhaps?
game show music.
A little game show music. Perhaps JB. So A, 3-1, B, 2-2, or C, 1-3.
Okay.
Braylon Edwards, the floor is yours. 7 days from today.
7 days and at 11, maybe around 11:30 p.m.
Yes.
Gotcha. They will be. What are we? 1-1, 3-1.
3-1.
So A.
A.
Okay.
I'm going A.
Maz.
They will be B. I'm taking B.
2-2.
How are you going through 2-2?
They win this week. They lose at Lambeau.
How good do you think the Packers are?
I think they're pretty good.
Do we
I know
know
he
yet?
says I watched their game against Atlanta. They kind of piddled it away, but I like what they have, and they don't even have Aaron Jones yet. So I think they're going to be a lot tougher than people think they are. I think Jordan Love is going to be a good quarterback.
JB, are the Detroit Lions 7 days from today going to be A, 3-1, B, 2-2, or C, 1-3?
A, 3-1.
A, 3-1.
3-1.
Parker, I come to you.
I'm gonna have to do mine over.
That's actually a tough question.
Good
I
question.
think they're going to be above 500. At or above 500. So
Okay,
2-2
so they're
or
not going to
3-1.
be C.
They're
huh?
not definitely not C. But I'm optimistic at 3-1.
Just spit it
I'm
out.
gonna come down to earth, and I'd say 2-2. I might agree with Maz. I think they lose in Lambeau.
So B.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay,
I'm changing mine too.
I am going to go with A, 3-1. I do think they respond and win this week, and I don't think the Packers are as good as everybody thinks they are. I think the Packers played the worst team in the NFL. I think the Chicago Bears are the worst team in the NFL. And I'm not sure what we know about the Falcons, really. You know, are the Falcons and Packers kind of both 7, 8, or 9 win football teams? Is that what they are?
Probably.
And I think the Lions are better than that. I think they're a 10, 11 win football team. So I'm going to go A, 3-1.
I'm changing mine.
You're changing yours.
You're erasing yours?
I've said it 3 times.
I know, but why you erase? You always got to go with your first intuition.
No, you don't. You don't, because I keep going with my first mind. I didn't bought the Kool-Aid of the Detroit Lions.
You did get knocked out of Survivor.
Everything that I've been saying is starting to all my little worries are starting to come true. So
erase your answer.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to call it as I see it, and as opposed to stop doubling down on it. And
more information you have about something, the better informed your opinion can be.
I agree, and I'm going with C.
We'll allow you to erase it.
I'm going with C.
1 and 3?
1 and 3.
Oh!
I'm going with C. 1 and 3. Until they show me at home that they can win,
that hurts.
I'm telling you, I want to see them do it.
Here's the next question.
They got some major injuries at major positions. They got a team coming in that is 2-0, plays in the dome as well. They're feeling themselves. They gave the ball to Algier 16 times, gave the ball to Bijan 19 times. They're finding him in the pass game, and they've been playing stout defense for the most part. So
I respect it.
I'm going 1 and 3, and then in Lambeau, you just gotta have to prove me wrong.
Can I just ask a dumb question?
You usually do.
Thank you.
Right.
How many people will be calling for Dan Campbell's job? We can do another ABC. How many people will be calling for Dan Campbell's job if the Detroit Lions 7 days from today are 1 and 3?
How many times is he going on 4th down?
My goodness.
If it's more along the lines of how that game ended last week or how that was played out a little bit, I think you'll start to see some people doing that. But if it's play, if it's lack of players in position, then people will give them excuses. But if it's more like last week and it's more of that, and it wasn't all his fault. I'm not placing all last week. There were turnovers. There was some sloppy football in there. But if there's some more things like last week and they lose 2 in a row, you'll get the pitchforks.
By the way, Ryan,
storm the castle.
A little side note on the Falcons. They have stopped teams on 4th down this year 3 times already. Just a little side note.
Oh, that's a good side
3
note.
out of
Tom Mazaway. Look
I don't know how many times, but they've stopped them 3 times.
I got you. Oh, you know what? I got you covered.
Who would have thought New Orleans, Tampa, and Atlanta would be tied?
Yeah, 2-0.
2-0. Guys, let me tell you about the Lions pregame show. Woodward Sports Live pregame show returns for another season of Lions football. Join Jeff Iafrate, weekly special guest hosts on Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Sunday mornings, 9:30 to 11:30. Lions pregame show all season long right here on Woodward Sports YouTube
Someone
channel.
wrote, fire MCDC and hire, guess who? Ben Johnson.
Well, yeah.
Hey, if you didn't want Ben Johnson to go anywhere. I love Dan Campbell.
It is.
I'm just saying, hey.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No doubt. Guys, in the Pro Football Focus power rankings, the Lions did drop out of the top 10, and that feels right. They should have dropped out of the top 10, I think. The top 3 teams to me on this list, the Cowboys, the 49ers, and the Dolphins, they do feel like those 3 teams have separated themselves. And again, 2 weeks is 2 weeks.
Yes.
But those 3 teams seem like they have separated from the rest of the league. It feels like those 3 teams and everybody else right now anyway.
Yeah, San Francisco's defense has been lights out. Brock Purdy hasn't necessarily been as good as he was last year. As of now, he's been okay, though. He's been all right. CMC has been CMC. 49ers are there. Mike McCarthy's offense, I didn't think I was going to say this, is much better than Kellen Moore's offense.
Same.
And the reason why I say it puts Dak in good position, Dak is looking about as in control as I've ever seen him look. With Kellen Moore, it was very sporadic. It was like it worked a little bit with the run game, and then he'd take unnecessary shots or taking unnecessary shots when he should be running. His offense looks a lot better. So I think the Cowboys, who best defense in the league right now, and then the Dolphins offense, and until someone shows me, it's unstoppable.
There's one team on here that I'm kind of surprised is in the top 10 still, and that's the New York Jets. With Zach
it's a great Parker, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, they don't belong there.
You're absolutely correct. I was looking at that and I was thinking to myself, how are the Jets above the Lions? How are the Jets number 9 on this list?
Because their defense.
I understand that.
They got cooked last week.
Again, like
Sauce dropped the pick 6. things happen.
Good offense beats good defense. It just does in 2023. And you see when you don't have a quarterback just how quickly your team can be fractured too. And I go back to Sauce Gardner taking down his social media and who's the running back? Breece Hall. Doing 4 football emojis on his social media to account for the 4 carries that he had. I mean, if you don't have a quarterback, or if you want to protect a young, inexperienced quarterback, how do you give the best running back on your team 4 carries? Well, I guess Dalvin Cook is pretty good too.
He only got 7.
Yeah, right. 11 carries.
Exactly. So
my goodness.
Yeah, and that's why I told you my dud of the week was Nathaniel Hackett. Like, what he's doing with that team is criminal. And I understand Zach Wilson is not the answer, and he's not winning anybody any playoff games, but you can help him out. You can definitely get the guy out. We just talked about how many carries Algiers and Bijan had between them. They had 36 carries between the two of them. So you can simplify the game, but their defense is good. I think that's why, but that's going to change. The Jets are going to continue to drop. I wonder why the Commanders are 15. They're 2-0 with the best defense statistically in the league right now.
It's who they play, and it's the same with the Falcons. It's the same with the Buccaneers. I mean,
that's true. But they're 2-0 right now. This is it's the power rankings for week 3.
Right.
It's not the projection for week 13.
Right. How are the Giants number 13 on this list?
I don't know.
I mean, the Giants, they were down 61-0.
Basically.
I think it was.
Yeah.
61-0.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Something like that. 40,
How about what Dallas did to both New York
40
teams?
zips.
Holy crow.
40 zip and 30-10.
It's crazy what's happening out there. Good
right,
list,
I thought your ABC game was really good. I'm disappointed it was only 1 question, though.
It's 2.
Well, it turned out to be 2 questions, but it is 1 question. I thought. Well, if you think about it, here we sit on Thursday.
Right.
A week from today, we'll be talking about another Lions game, and this season just kind of goes by. A quarter of the season, a week from now.
Isn't that something?
It's just like that.
Holy crow!
You know. We'll find out a lot about the Lions team over the next 7 days, and we'll find out about a lot of the who's real, who's a fugazi. You know what I mean? Are the Tampa Bay Bucks a fugazi?
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're 2-0. Are the Washington Commanders real?
Ish.
Or a fugazi?
They're ish.
Hell, what about the Atlanta Falcons?
I like them because Maz and I both liked them last year.
Did.
We both liked them last year. I actually won a couple
tough games
couple
last
parlays
year,
with them last year.
Yeah.
They were literally, Ryan, sitting no less than 5 losing every game last year. So I knew they would be getting. And they added your guy. They added Bijan Robinson. If you play tough defense and you had a running game, Drake London, I mean, you look, he had 67 yards last week and a touchdown.
Too bad they didn't keep Calvin Ridley.
Well, he cut himself.
He did.
He kind of cut himself.
And again, if you look at Atlanta, they've scored 24 points against Carolina. They scored 25 points in a comeback victory against
mostly field goals.
Green Bay. If the Lions hold Atlanta to 24, 25 points, I expect Detroit to win the football game. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's just...
They should be able to put 30 up.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so. Guys, we'll get a break in. We'll come right back when we do a little Thursday night football action tonight. Maz's Giants and the 49ers. We'll talk about this one. We'll talk to Atlanta Journal-Constitution beat reporter for the Atlanta Falcons, D. Orlando Ledbetter, coming up top of the hour. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Hey, join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live this Sunday for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. Eastern Market Shed 5, gonna be a bash. Starts at 9:30 until game time. The official Lions tailgate back and better than ever. How would you like to pregame with Woodward Sports and be treated like a VIP? Food, beverage, entertainment, all included. Get your tickets online today at bullseyeeventgroup.com. Bullseyeeventgroup.com. You can win some as well through our Woodward Sports YouTube page. Subscribe to YouTube, or you can hit us on IG, direct message us, Lions VIP. Big one tonight, feels a little less big with Saquon Barkley out, but Thursday night football tonight, New York Giants and San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco just steamrolling teams right now. But there's a matchup with the Giants. It, like I said, would have been a lot more sexy with Saquon Barkley. He has been ruled out. But just look at the all-time head-to-head matchup. These are two great franchises that play each other about as tough and as evenly as you can.
Yeah, you're looking at the two teams that dominated the 80s. And, Maz, I know I stole your thunder with that one. But this is definitely the two teams of the 80s. And I would give the edge to the 49ers. They got 4. The Giants got 3-ish because they won 1 in 90. But it's not going to be a game. You wish it was a game. You wish they had Saquon. It would have been interesting to see what Brian Daboll, because Brian Daboll, who was my offensive coordinator in Cleveland for a year, definitely knows the game. He knows how to put quarterbacks in good position. But you're talking about a team that's been steamrolling, and I understand that they won against the Rams 30-23. But you're talking about Matt Stafford, Aaron Donald, Sean McVay, and a team that knows the Rams and play them tough regardless. And the Rams are actually playing some decent football early on in the season. Yeah, they are. But other than that, they steamrolled the Steelers. They really kind of steamrolled the Rams until the end, a couple garbage points there. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to try to get Brock Purdy on track. I think that's what they'll try to do against the Giants this game, is get him back to playing that football. Because last year, in those 8 games when he was 8-0, not only was he 8-0, Ryan, he wasn't just out there handing the ball off. He's led the league in QBR, he led the league in efficiency, and he led the league in passing yards per game. So Brock Purdy, get him back on track, but they're going to knock the socks off the Giants.
I think I'm hoping the Giants could hang with them. I don't see them winning. Obviously, I just don't. Daniel Jones, Matt Breida is the running back for the Giants this week, for the next few weeks. He's a good back. He's no Saquon Barkley. But the 49ers are my Super Bowl NFC pick, so I'm not picking against them. I lost no faith in them. They're only going to get better. They're home. It's a primetime game. They should beat the Giants handily. The spread went up a half a point overnight. It's 10.5 right now. So I hope the Giants can hang with them, but I'm with you, Bray. I don't see it.
Saquon Barkley, he accounted for 57% of the Giants' offense last year. 57%.
He's going to be Daniel Jones going to be running for his life tonight.
Yeah.
You know, Daniel Jones might be, but you know, I look at Saquon Barkley and Nick Chubb and Austin Eckler. You know, if you looked at David Montgomery, just look at last week with running backs. How do you, in good conscience, pay a running back $10, $12, $13, $14 million? I mean, the game seems so brutal. Their bodies don't seem as conditioned to be able to handle it. And most of them, many of them, all of them, can't make it through a season.
If you're not going to practice, like if you're not going to, and I understand that that's not the only way. People that people that don't play the game, they're like, it's not just that they don't practice, it's freak accidents. Yes, there are such things as freak accidents. There's also such things as meeting in the pocket. Like I'm telling you, like if you're not going to play, if the excuse to not practice in the offseason and in training camp or even during the season, we still hit during the season when I play. If you're not going to hit an excuse is, well, they're making so much money now, I don't want to risk the chance of my DN getting hurt or my, $20 million season left tackle getting hurt or my wide receiver that's making $25 million getting hurt. Well, you know what? You're going to get hurt. When you don't want to get hurt and you play not to get hurt, Ryan and Ermanni, guess exactly what happens. You get hurt. So if you're going to play these guys all this money, you better start hitting in practice because the more you keep it going like it is, it's going to keep happening like this. Guys are going to continue to get injured. I'm telling you, that is just the nature of the beast.
Well, what are you not? You're not going to pay a running back anymore? It's that ain't right.
It's about to be 7-on-7 in a minute. No running backs at all. 6 wide.
I just throw this. I don't even want to put it out there in the universe.
Go ahead, man.
I don't want to put it in the universe. What if Jahmyr Gibbs gets hurt?
Oh, shoot.
God.
Damn it,
I'm just saying.
Cut his mic.
Cut.
Why would you do that?
I said I didn't want to put it in the universe.
Well, you shouldn't have said it then.
Why would you do something like that?
Because you damn sure said Jared Goff was going to throw a pick last week. Not only did he throw a pick, he threw a pick 6. Hey, you're cut off.
I had another guy ask me, why do you always wear different team shirts? Wilson. Why do you pick?
Because most people don't have your track record, just fall in love with the game and living in New York.
When you see me in the winter, I got like 17 Lion jackets. All right? I just don't have a lot of Lion T-shirts. They don't make a nice Lion T-shirt.
You got to go to Pro Sports Zone, John Hugh, man.
Yeah, I will. I'll go to John Hugh and see what they can find.
I'm
sorry, guys,
I'll
that I
bring
wear.
you some Lions T-shirts so they get off your back.
I appreciate it, man. I don't like too much action in the front.
Okay. I see you. You usually wear like
I like my
47. Right here.
I like my 47s.
Okay. There it is.
That's
I
what I
got
like.
you covered.
But Maz, what were you going to say about Jahmyr Gibbs, heaven forbid?
I said it.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. It makes me sick to my stomach.
Well, that's why
because you're absolutely right. These guys are going down like nothing. Damn. They are going down every freaking week.
And the good ones.
Yes.
I mean, Barkley, Chubb, Eckler. Montgomery. I mean, those are 4
Pro Bowl caliber running backs.
Gone. The Lions free agent running back out.
Yeah.
The Saquon Barkley, big free agent, or big to do with the franchise tag and contract out. Austin Eckler wants to pretend. We should pretend that we're
hurt.
Getting
hurt now.
Now
Guess
you're really
what?
getting hurt.
You're
hurt. Nick Chubb, probably not his fault, but just because of the brutality of the game and the way the defense has to play, where they can't go high, so they go low, you're out. And that's just a start. That's only 2 weeks in. 2 weeks in.
So it makes me worry. Last week, honestly, I watched that game against the Seahawks holding my breath because every time I see a guy go down, I'm like, Hutchinson went down late in that game. We still don't know what happened to him that game. I know he's practiced this week.
If you think about the factors when Nick Chubb got injured, just think of the factors. Factor 1, they don't hit in practice, although Nick Chubb does a ton of squats. But once again, squatting is not getting hit by a linebacker, et cetera. They don't practice, he gets injured. So one thing is they don't practice, that's why the injuries happen. And 2 is because of the NFL saying how guys have to hit. That's the NFL. If the NFL would allow them to tackle a little bit higher, a little bit regular, then the guy doesn't have to go as low. Some of these things can be fixed. On that situation, if a guy can go higher, if he feels the confidence to go higher because the league hasn't fined him $50K during the season, he's going to hit higher. And maybe Nick Chubb is playing this week, but he has to go low. So he goes low, rightfully so, and then he gets injured, and now it's why'd you go so low? Well, the NFL told me that I couldn't hit up high, so this is the only thing that's acceptable. And did he get flagged on the play?
No.
So the NFL...
part of this too...
and he got hurt.
Part of this too, and Maz being a Giants guy, I mean, you could speak more to this than anything, but if you look at the running backs of the teams that got hurt, Saquon Barkley... Who's the highest paid guy? The highest paid guy is going to be the quarterback almost exclusively on every team, but not every team, but almost exclusively. But Daniel Jones got the contract. This is why you pay Daniel Jones $45 million for games when Saquon Barkley can't play. Nick Chubb in Cleveland. That's why you pay a guy like Deshaun Watson $230 million so that he can kind of take over the game. Austin Eckler for the Chargers. It's why you give Justin Herbert $51 million. And here in Detroit with David Montgomery, you look at Jared Goff. That's why many people believe this is Jared Goff's time to be the next $50 million quarterback. That is what is going to be out there on the open market for Jared Goff, especially if at a shorter-term deal. But when you pay the quarterbacks that much money, it's up. You can't just have an automatic loss to this 49ers tonight. You make $45 million for a reason. Not because you need the other guy, because we're putting it on your back. You go steal us a game. You go win us a game, Daniel Jones.
But that's why everybody was mad at the Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley situation. See, nobody's tripping over Justin Herbert breaking the bank and Austin Eckler not breaking the bank. Nobody's tripping over Patrick Mahomes breaking the bank. You don't even know who the hell the running back is for the Chiefs, Isaiah Pacheco. Nobody cares. But when you're talking Daniel Jones and you realize the quarterbacks that I just named, they account for the offense. They make it go round in Los Angeles. He makes it go round in Kansas City. Insert Pro Bowl or All-Pro quarterback here. They make it go round. Daniel Jones, he had 15 passing touchdowns last year. He had, 3,100 yards passing? Saquon Barkley was the engine that made that team go around, and that's why everybody got pissed that Daniel Jones gets a $45 million contract, and Saquon Barkley doesn't even get paid and has to ask only. Daniel Jones wasn't the offense. He's not the guy that's going to go down the field and lead you to it. Daniel Jones is the guy that's going to find a way to get the ball to number 26, whether it's passing or handing the ball off. So he's like a unicorn situation where it's like, no, he can't go down there and get it done, and that's why people were mad down. The other guys, pay Justin Herbert, don't pay Eckler, pay Patrick Mahomes, who just got paid again, and not pay Isaiah Pacheco. But the Daniel Jones situation, I'm never, ever, ever excited to see Daniel Jones going down the field to win the game with 47 seconds. Hell no, he's not that guy.
And he's not that exciting of a player.
He's not.
You know what I mean?
He's very Eli-like.
He doesn't excite me. But we'll see what happens tonight. Guys,
we won a playoff game
against Minnesota.
I don't care.
Another one of my favorite
on the road.
But
he sucks too.
But you think he can win for the Jets, though?
Yes, I do.
I love Kirk Cousins.
I do. I think you have to be an average quarterback to win for the Jets. I think they're that good.
If Kirk Cousins, if this would have happened, and if this situation were to happen in May, June, absolutely. The only problem is getting that chemistry down this fast. And I get it. Everybody think you can just plug and play a quarterback. It's tough. And that would be my biggest concern with Kirk Cousins on the Jets. But if you're talking insert him in even August, I'll take that. I'll take that chance.
No
but
doubt.
Now it's a little tough.
Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by the Falcons beat writer for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, D. Orlando Ledbetter. Excited to talk to him. But first, a message from Swiss.
Yes. Do you have football on the brain like us? Well, of course you do. Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with the pros at Swiss Insurance. They cover us here at WSN, and they should be covering you as well. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at SwissINS.com, or as always, give them a call at 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Time to talk about the greatest new place to play downtown Detroit. It is 5 Iron Golf, located inside the Cambria Hotel. I'm talking about sim rentals, lessons, leagues, bars, and restaurant. Play, practice, and party. They even have instructors so you can play some of the best courses around the world on those 13 brand new TrackMan simulators. Play every Thursday at the Woodward Sports Golf League, 5 to 7 that is today. Come down and have a good time and mention Woodward Sports for the promo code. First time you get 50% off. Come on down, practice and play at Cambria Hotel, 5 Iron Golf.
All right, guys, welcome back. Expected to be joined by D. Orlando Ledbetter from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Falcons beat reporter, in just a little bit. When he pops up, we'll get you get him on that aspect of it. Absolutely. I am curious about the Falcons. This is a football team, too, that has taken care of business through 2 weeks. Two home games, 2 games against the NFC opponents, 1 divisional game against Carolina. And this division, if you look at the NFC South division, the NFC South, who would have thought that 3 teams in this division would be 2-0 at this point right now? Because that is one division I would not have pegged for 2-0. You've got Atlanta, New Orleans, and Tampa Bay all 2-0 right now. Carolina bringing up the rear at 0-2.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect it, but at the end of the day, there's some bad teams in the NFC, and I think you're starting to see a lot of that earlier. I think you're seeing some bad teams beat some bad teams, but like you said, they took care of business. They played a divisional opponent at home, took care of that business, and the Panthers wasn't a pretty win. I mean, they only had 221 total yards of offense. Ryan and Ermanni, I say again, they had 221 total yards of offense against the Panthers. Now, they cleaned it up in week 2 against the Packers, had more yards. But they're still not doing anything special. They had 2 home games, and they basically took care of business. They took care of the teams in front of them like the Lions should have done, but like the Lions still can do. They got the Falcons coming here. It's nothing like losing a game at home and the very next week, Ryan, being able to play at home. That is the best thing you want to have in the NFL. If you're going to lose a game, you want that next game to be right back at home so you can get that taste out of the fans' mouth as well as yours.
If you look at the NFL right now, Bray, how much and how many times have we talked about how good the AFC was, right?
Right.
And again, there's no way to quantify this early on, but there are 9 teams that are 2-0 in the NFL right now. 7 of them are in the NFC. 2 of them are in the AFC. Is the AFC going to be a conference that just continues to beat up on each other? Yeah. Remember that USA Today prediction we did? Yep. That season prediction for the USA Today? Yeah. They had 10 AFC teams winning 10 or more games. That's how dominant they believed that conference was going to be. But through 2 weeks anyway, you look at it and you just see this, smorgasbord, just teams pounding each other, beating everybody up.
Yeah, when I played in the AFC North in 2005 when I got drafted, I'll peep you over there, Ryan. I'll make it quick. When I played in 2008, you had Carson Palmer and the Bengals. They should have won a Super Bowl the year the Steelers won it. You had the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. And, oh, by the way, you still had the Baltimore Ravens very much with Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. Those teams beat each other out, and a lot of times those teams were better than the teams that make the playoffs. But you keep playing each other twice a season. I think that's what you're seeing with the AFC.
4,000 last year, and they're trying to build out the passing game off of that. The defense, which has 7 new starters, has come up big in the last 2 games with stops in the 4th quarter against the Panthers and then shutting out the Packers last week in the 4th quarter. They've been 27-0 in the 4th quarter, and that's allowed them to get to 2-0.
Excuse me, D. Talk about Bijan Robinson. Everybody wants to talk about, and thank you for coming on the show, by the way. My apologies. Everybody wants to talk about Bijan Robinson. He was a damn good running back at Texas, and so far, he's been a damn good running back with the Falcons. How has he had success early on in the first 2 games of the year?
Surprised. A lot of people around here wanted to go Jalen Carter, but they wanted to surround the quarterback, them quarterbacks with weapons, and they, done that in the last 3 drafts. So, but yeah, he's been everything as advertised here early in the season. Been real mature about his approach to professional football, and that has allowed them to give him 40 touches.
You're covering your microphone. We can hardly hear you. We can't hear you. I think you're holding your microphone with your thumb by accident.
Oh, sorry about that.
I knew it. All right, go ahead on Bijan. Go ahead.
Oh, back on Bijan. Okay. Yeah,
You're doing it again.
He's a guy that's come into camp and taking on the workload that they tried to give him. Has been very professional for a young man coming out of college.
Talking to D. Orlando Ledbetter. Talk to me about the NFC South division right now. If there was one division in football that I would not expect through 2 weeks, have 3 teams be 2-0. The South is not one division that I would expect that. Where are the Falcons? How do they kind of navigate through that NFC South division right now? Where do the Falcons fit there?
Yeah, I think, the Saints have the veteran quarterback. And so, you think they, with their good defense, they should be, at the front of the pack. Tampa Bay, a lot of people wrote them off because they lost so much salary cap-wise and lose Tom Brady. But it looks like Baker Mayfield is doing a pretty good job so far. The Falcons are right there in that, right below those 2 teams or ahead of them. I'm going to look at it. And then Carolina is going to have tough sleds this year with the rookie quarterback and no receivers. So are in contention to, maybe make a playoff.
Tell them to hang up. We're going to call
them. With the that they had.
Oh, there you go. We just got you now. All right, sorry. Hey, dear Orlando, we're going to hang up right now. We're going to try to get a better connection. We'll call you right back.
Yeah, let's get a better connection.
All right, great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We got to get a better connection.
We're going to call you.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
I got it.
Stuff. Good job, man.
Okay.
I mean,
You guys are terrible.
The thing is, so he got the blue screen of death.
Yeah.
Because in Atlanta at the headquarters, there's a pop-up locker.
Right.
So I tell everyone, use the phone without Wi-Fi. Turn it horizontally so you're not blocking the mic and your picture fills the.
Yeah.
But not everyone, understands the intricacies.
Right.
So I will send this to JB and we will
there
call.
There are some intricacies. But again, we got the general gist of it. Look, Bijan Robinson and what's this guy's name?
Tyler Algier.
Tyler Algier,
Yeah.
1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. I mean, these 2 players are what's making the Atlanta Falcons go right now. And if you run the football for 120 yards, 140 yards, if this is what you're peeling off on the ground, your quarterback should be able to have some one-on-one coverage in the pick of the litter there offensively. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, 100%. If you get guys like Tyler Algiers who will rush for 1,000 yards, like you heard D say, as well as now you got Bijan Robinson on top of that, it makes it easier for Desmond Ridder. It should be much easier for him to complete passes to Drake London, for him to create passes to Kyle Pitts. But guess what? They're not having that type of success right now, and we keep talking about it. You don't want to be the team that allows the Falcons to get it rolling with Desmond Ridder, because this ain't Cincinnati, and I don't expect him to come in here and win this game.
And how about that with a team like Atlanta, too? You don't want to give them any confidence to do anything well if you're the Lions, obviously. And I believe we do have D. Orlando Ledbetter on the phone right now. D, thanks so much. Sorry about that communication.
Sure, no problem, Ryan, Matt, and Braylon. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. We were just talking about, you had mentioned Bijan Robinson and Algier. What does that do for a young quarterback when you can just turn around and give the ball to a guy that's going to rush the ball for over 100 yards in a game? What benefit, how much of a benefit is that to Desmond Ridder, a young quarterback who's doing some really nice things early on in the season?
Yeah, it's a great benefit to him. We saw it here early on with Matt Ryan when he had Michael Turner and Jarius Norwood. You're able to throw off of that. You're able to play action pass people. And in Ritter's case, he can play action off of the run and then also run it, pull it down on the RPOs and the rollouts and stuff and throw on the move because the Falcons' pass protection hasn't been anything to write home about. But they have to keep him on the move and, use the running game as a weapon also in the passing attack.
Talk to me about last week against the Packers. We here in Detroit are we always keep an eye, obviously, on the teams of the division. What did you see out of Jordan Love last week in the Green Bay Packers? How did Atlanta come back in that game and ultimately get the win?
Yeah, he looked very poised early in the game when they were on the script. Coming out of halftime, he led them on 2 touchdowns. But then as the Falcons started to make adjustments, he wasn't able to keep up with the adjustments. They took some things away from him, and he wasn't able to make any plays there down the stretch in the fourth quarter on their last 4 possessions. So I was impressed with his arm strength and accuracy. Then there were a few inaccurate balls after that, but I was definitely impressed with him. But I think that the Packers coaches got a little bit outflanked there late in the game.
Hey, D, I wanted to ask you about a guy that kind of almost is invisible. It's Kyle Pitts. How are they using him, and what's going on with this guy? He's supposed to be the unicorn coming out of the NFL draft, but really haven't seen much out of him. I know he got 1,000 yards, but I don't know. I'm not hearing much about him.
Yeah, well, that was with Matt Ryan, who was a classic drop-back guy, and he got him the ball as a rookie. Last year he was hurt. Mariota couldn't get it to him. He got a lot of targets, but none of them were, on-target type of deal. And with Ritter here, they tried to take him away. He got one ball down the field last week against the Panthers for 34 yards. They tried to get it to him a couple times against the Packers, but he only ended up with 2 catches for 5 targets. So they're working it in. They got a lot of weapons here, and yet so far they haven't been able to figure out how to consistently get him the ball like Miami consistently gets Tyreek Hill the ball, and the way Kansas City consistently gets Travis Kelce the ball.
How about on the defensive side? Our old friend Jeff Okudah now an Atlanta Falcon. I know he got hurt earlier. There was rumors they weren't going to keep him. They bring him back. What's up with Jeff Okudah? How is he progressing?
He's progressing great. Just left the practice field. He was full yesterday for the first time. He was limited all last week. This is his second week back from August 4th injury to his foot. All signs are pointing towards him at least being available to play against the Lions. We don't know if they'll throw him back out there and try to go from 0 to 100 with him, but he's certainly looking pretty good on the practice field as he's trying to, salvage his pro career down here in Atlanta after the bumpy start up there with the Lions.
Hey, D. Orlando, last thing for you. What do the Falcons make of the Detroit Lions? What are they saying about the Lions now that we feel like here in Detroit this is a much different Lions team than the one Lions teams of the last 50, 60 years? We think this is a good football team up here. What are the Falcons, what are people saying down in Atlanta about Detroit?
They have, at least the staffs have mutual respect. They were both interviewing for jobs at the same time. Y'all went with Brad Holmes and Coach Dan, and they went with Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot down here. So they're talking, glowingly about the job you all are doing. Folks in Atlanta got to see Hard Knocks last year and got a total kick out of that, and the fact that you all wrapped it up 8-2 and then went and took down the Super Bowl champs to start the season. The Lions have the Falcons' full attention and the city of Atlanta's full attention, even with the Braves going on, carrying on in the baseball front. But this will be a big game. It's a big test for the Falcons, who were 1-7 on the road last year, and they were talking about coming to Ford Field like it was Seattle or someplace. So we'll see how it goes.
D. Orlando Ledbetter covers the Falcons for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Thanks so much, sir, for hopping on with us. We apologize about the technical difficulty there. And, of course, we hope you enjoy our city this weekend when you head on out. Have a Coney dog. Go to a Coney dog facility and enjoy a Coney dog.
Tell Rothstein. He'll take you.
All right, no doubt. Yeah, I got a couple spots in Detroit. I got some people.
You sound like it. You sound. I know you know what's up, D. I know you know what's up.
Yeah, I'm picking up.
All right, brother.
All right, thanks,
Take it easy,
Mr.
Orlando.
We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All right.
Great stuff. Great job, Master. Love getting the perspective of teams who are
Absolutely.
playing. We'll try to do that throughout the year as it comes. I forgot Michael Rothstein is down there.
He wrote a story today on Jeff Okuda.
Really?
Yep. The reason Michael wasn't on with us is he couldn't do the video. Little did I know.
Nobody can do the video.
Nobody can do the video. Otherwise, he would have been on with us. I chose video over Michael.
You guys are horrible, by the way.
What did he have to say about Okuda?
He wrote a nice story about him that they all think that he could still become the player the Lions thought he could be.
Is he playing this week?
You heard D. Orlando. He's out there on the field practicing. We'll see if he gets on the field.
Very good.
Unless
very
he's
good.
a scratch.
All right, good stuff. Guys, when we come back, we're going to go around the NFL. But first, a message from... Glorious.
You know what time it is. Hey, drop that one more time, JB. Drop that one more time, man. Let the people hear that one more time. Glorious. That's what it is. Glorious Canna. I'm telling you like this. Glorious Canna, CANN.com. For all those people that are sad the Detroit Lions lost last week.
You got a cigarette?
Well, this is what you need right here. No, this is cig weed, baby. You know what I'm saying? Glorious Canna. You also can get it at Dispo or wherever your cannabis is sold. Flavor smooth, I'm telling you.
What am I missing?
It is glorious.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Yeah, hey gang, let me tell you about Outdoor Equipment Company, official equipment provider of Woodward Sports, Michigan-grown, family-owned bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers. Liberty Trailers, Generac generators, Snow X plows and salters. The Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. Buy it, rent it, 0% financing, delivered to your doorstep. OutdoorEquipCo.com, OutdoorEquipCo.com. I will tell you guys, let me tell you about this Woodward Sports Network, everybody, on a Thursday. I am having some fun today. I feel like this show has completely gone off the rails here.
I don't think it ever was on the rails.
It's one of those. And Thursday, tomorrow we're in Dispo. Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Man, you taking an edible? Is it edible Friday?
I might have to.
That's a long drive.
Oh man.
I got to go from Holly to Romeo.
Is that a straight shot?
It's 50 minutes. 50? It's another 55 minutes, another $20.
That's what it is from my
I know.
house.
Yeah. I know.
Anyway.
I had Parker map it out for me, so it's about 50 minutes.
Isn't it 50 minutes from everywhere?
I think it's 50 minutes from everywhere.
Hour and 2 from my house.
Well, yeah, 5 o'clock.
I'm not going to say
anything.
anything.
On the way back?
Yeah.
That's like an hour and 30.
Parker's going to spend at least $40 in gas to get there.
Dude, my car is terrible.
Yeah.
He's got that old Avalanche.
Ooh. I'm just thinking about gas guzzler.
Right. Oh, man. You driving an Avalanche, Parker?
2007 Avalanche.
Oh, my gosh. That's a good car.
Does anyone have a gas-saving car for Parker? Let us know on the chat, please.
My car's good on gas.
We'll hook you up. We'll hook you up, Parker.
Sucks everywhere else.
Oh, my gosh.
Got to get you one of those electric cars.
Randy Wise, baby.
Oh, yeah, the electric car.
Oh, Les Stanford.
Oh, yeah.
Fine. Well, Randy's a broker, so he broke it through.
That's true. Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
hey,
same team.
Guys, we have a top 10 list. We're going to go around the NFL. Give me one NFL story, Maz, and then we're going to get back on time here.
You guys know what the story is, and we broke it yesterday. We don't know, but we kind of know. Yesterday we said the FBI raided Hallis Hall in Chicago, which was false. But they did raid defensive coordinator Alan Williams' home, and he resigned about a minute and a half after they got in his home. Now, the Ryan Poles, the GM, has come out and said a lot of people are saying a lot of wrong things. First of all, Hallis Hall was not raided. And, of course, Alan Williams, he is resigning for health reasons. So he put a letter out thanking the McCaskey family, the Hallis family, thanking the Chicago Bears, saying, I will coach again. Probably not. But he says he will. He says, I have to concentrate on my health. There's rumors out there that it was indeed an FBI raid at Alan Williams' home. And no, we do not know anything yet, although there's a lot of people digging to find out what the hell happened.
And again, in any story like this, and Ryan Poles has to understand, look, we understand you're going to speculate, but, you know, if you could allow the legal process to play out. That's all you have to say. Don't say
they can't say a word.
Yeah, you can't say, well, don't speculate, because the first thing everybody does is speculate on something like this. And you go to two places, like money laundering or pedophilia.
Yeah,
there's only two ways to go when it comes to computer crimes.
He's a brother, man. He's a brother. It's money laundering. I'm putting mine on money laundering.
I mean,
he's got to be making a good living. He's a defensive coordinator
of the
Bears.
You can always make more. You don't remember when the wide receiver.
But what's the health situation? You know,
I don't know.
Well, that's always the cover.
What'd you say?
Mental health, maybe.
No.
Now it's mental health.
It's always a health cover. You don't remember Urban Meyer every time he's dodging
he had a heart
what
attack.
comes up? You said what?
His was heart related.
Yeah, allegedly.
Well, that's what
allegedly.
Mel Tucker's now claiming too. You know
Exactly.
that he wanted to take a leave of absence for mental health. That is the go-to now.
Yeah, you keep getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
I
It's a
want
good
to
move,
take a
right?
leave of absence for mental health too.
Mental health reasons. That is it. Could be. Oh, Apollo says gambling. That's a good one too. But that falls under the money.
Yeah.
That falls under the money.
That comes out right away though. Like at least it should.
If it's gambling and he's gambling like Pete Rose gambled, that's bad.
Won't that come out right away? I guess it wasn't because they knew about J-Mo during the season and waited until January. Like how many stories did we find out about in January through August that happened last season? So
I hope it's
that's
that.
actually a good guess. That makes more sense.
Yeah, that does make whatever falls under the guise of money.
And it was there was a former player from the Bears that actually warned
Peanut Tillman.
Yeah, Peanut Tillman.
He warned them that this was going to happen.
Because he works with the FBI.
He works for the FBI, but he has really nothing to do with the story.
Shout out to the most punch outs.
Peanut.
He created
Love Peanut.
the punch out.
Guys, want the latest information on the Detroit Lions? The Lions Insiders have you covered with shows twice a week. Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and the legend Terry Foster bring you the latest news and breakdowns Tuesday mornings from 7 to 8, Sunday mornings from 8 to 9. Lions Insider Show, your first stop for game day. Check them out on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. All right, we got a top 10, and we will continue to go around the NFL. Maybe we'll pause on the NFL. We'll do Braylon's top 10, which is a really interesting list this week. It's ranked the top 10 0-2 teams. How about that?
Parker's running the show on that one.
Look at that. We'll do that. But first, a message from SMA.
The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about substance abuse and mental health. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight that stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com. You know they always got your back whenever you need it.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? I know I would, because I would gamble and try and get a new car. Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win that $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy your Cintron at your local Meijer. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste for the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best version of themselves. You can go do all of that at Cintron. The website to register is drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Hey, right, KB, Ken Brown from the Mitch Album Show.
Sure.
On WJR, a good friend. He reminded me that Alan Williams, the former defensive coordinator for the Bears, was a DB coach here in Detroit for 3 years under the great Jim Caldwell.
How about that?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So we wish him the best. I hope everything turns out okay.
Yeah, again, we have no idea.
No.
We have no freaking clue.
It don't sound good.
We have no freaking clue.
No.
Maz, let's continue to go around the NFL.
Yeah.
There was a trade.
I know. Minnesota gets a guy for nothing. They got Cam Akers. He might stink, but they got Cam Akers from the Rams, young running back, and they swapped 7th and 6th round picks. So they got him for a 6th round pick, but they got a 7th round pick with it. I don't understand it. Minnesota has the lowest, by the way, rushing average in the NFL. No one even has a 10-yard run. Alexander Madison looks lost since he switched to number 0 or whatever the hell number he's got right now. He fumbled last week on the Thursday night game. They're not looking good, so they went out and they got Cam Akers, and he lost his gig to Kieran Williams at the Rams. They find this kid. He's the 3rd round pick, Kieran Williams, and he's starting for the Rams. So Cam Akers is now a Viking.
It just makes sense, though, because if you look at it, once Cam Akers got back in the playoffs the year that they won the Super Bowl, they rushed him back so they could use him as, and what did they not do? Did not really use him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Didn't really use him in the Super Bowl.
I guess they don't like him.
Didn't use him the following season. So this was only a matter of time. And Sean McVay cracked jokes about their team going to the season. They don't look half bad. Matt Stafford,
They don't.
I mean, you throw 55 passes, you're guaranteed to get 300 yards, but they look a lot better than I thought they would, but I don't think it'll last.
I'm more surprised if the Vikings do this, to be honest with you.
Well, they got him for nothing.
I mean, I know you're trying to win and make the playoffs, and 0-2 doesn't mean much to you, but I would think that the Vikings have a really good opportunity for a reset after this Kirk Cousins thing. I would not. If I'm the Minnesota Vikings and you are looking long-term here, I'm sorry. You have to. You have no quarterback beyond next year, and you're not re-signing Kirk Cousins. I would look at tanking.
At the same...
Organically. And I wouldn't be adding anybody. You don't have to sell anybody off, but I would not be adding anybody.
But there's two things. There's two thoughts at play right now, I believe. I think for the Vikings are looking at the league right now, and they're looking at all of a sudden, Lions ain't so tough. Green Bay, I don't really trust them either. Chicago, they're trash. As bad as I thought we were going to be this year and organically get the 8th pick or the 9th pick or the 10th, we can add a running back and we might be able to win this division. And
Right.
if we don't, if this doesn't work, we'll still be 9, 10, 11, which means you'll still be able to get one of those quarterbacks. So I think the way they look at it, I think they're looking at this division as maybe not as tough as they thought it would be, and they think they can sneak a win. I mean, whenever you can win your division, you win your division. You don't tank. So if they can win the division, that's their thought process right now. They don't believe in the Lions. They damn sure don't believe in the Chicago Bears, and they're looking at Green Bay like, we'll beat y'all.
Guess what? They're 0-2. The Chargers are 0-2. They play each other in Minnesota this Sunday. That's a tough
Yeah, it
game.
is.
The
It
loser is out.
Right.
Yeah.
They're out.
Loser is out. You know, for Minnesota too, I would kind of take that tact. I think you're absolutely spot on. If you're like the Lions, though,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. If you're like the Lions, where you really have never won the division, you don't win playoff games, you don't host playoff games. If Minnesota was like that, I understand that. But Minnesota has had a lot of success.
Yeah.
Division championships, home playoff games, playoff wins. Do they believe they could win a Super Bowl with this team right now? Could they get to a Super Bowl with this team? And the answer is no. Now, that's really hard to look yourself in the mirror and in week 2 say, we're going to, tank, essentially.
They don't have it.
But, man, they do have some offensive weapons. And if you do get a Caleb Williams, a Shedeur Sanders, a Drake May, a J.J. McCarthy, if you are in position, he's going to be a top 10 pick.
He's going to be first round pick. I know. I can smile.
No, you can't, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm just saying, maybe you'd rather Shedeur or Caleb over Drake May or J.J. You're going to have to lose games to do that.
Yeah.
So to take a long view approach at your team. Do you want next year to suck, or do you just want 1 year to suck and then get your quarterback? You know,
that's true. I think the good news is it's still early in the season for them to make that decision. You know, it's a longer season now. They've only played 2 games. Next week it'll be 3, and you still have 14 games left to decide how bad you're going to be. If you're Minnesota, you're a team that usually gets in the playoffs. Now, whether you win or not, you don't. But you usually get to the playoffs, and it's kind of hard if I'm a Minnesota fan base or I'm looking at the Minnesota fan base and I'm telling them, hey, it's week 3. It's a wrap.
No doubt.
It's a wrap for the season. So I think you make a move. Keep your fan base at bay. See what you can do. You'll know you hit the nail on the head. You'll know after this game what they're gonna do or what they'll be able to do, and so will they.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Let's do our top 10.
Okay, top 10 it is.
Let's do it.
Braylon
Speaking
Edwards.
of 0-2 teams, let's go. We're going to go in order here.
Okay.
This is the
Parker,
top.
this is your show, sir.
All right, I'll take care of it. So at number 9, let me throw up. Jamie, let's
Is
get
this
some
my
music.
list?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my list.
Yeah, you do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, okay.
This is you.
Good.
That's why I kept looking at you. Like, I'll do it.
Okay, I just didn't know how we were going to do it. Okay, I came up with a list, guys. There's 9 0-2 teams in the NFL. 9 0-2 teams. I ranked those teams in order from worst
to best.
Worst 0-2 team to best 0-2 team. Here you go at number 9. I think the Chicago Bears are the worst team in the league right now. They are dead. There is infighting. The coaching staff sucks. The quarterback not good. The wide receiver not good. Nothing where the defensive coordinator not good.
Yeah.
He looks terrible too. Or the guy that just got raided by the FBI.
Alan Williams.
Hey, but can we not blame it on Justin Fields?
No, we can. But you have to have some sort of. Look, players play, coaches coach, and part of the NFL is where you go. Braylon, you could have been a Hall of Famer if you went to somewhere with a team, but you're not a Hall of Famer because you went to Cleveland Browns team that had no quarterback. And then ultimately you went to the Jets who, no offense, close your ears, didn't have a quarterback either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just because Justin Fields isn't in a great situation, I can name for you hundreds of players that were not in a great situation. And if he gets somewhere and turns it around, sure, then we can clearly say. But right now, he does not get the benefit of the doubt. To me, anyway.
I disagree, and this is why I would give him the benefit of the doubt. Who was the guy that was his coach for the first reason? It was Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy was the head coach of Chicago Bears. What did he do with Mitchell Trubisky? Ruined his career. And I'm not trying to say Mitchell Trubisky was some world beater that was going to be an all-pro. Ruined his career. Should have been fired, but he wasn't. Held on another year just to do what? draft Justin Fields, ruined Justin Year's first year. Why was Matt Nagy even the head coach? It was abominable, the things that he were doing. He was terrible. Fire him, and when you bring in another guy. Last year, Justin Fields leads the league in rushing, essentially. Amazing. You now realize that Justin Fields can use his legs, right? Justin Fields has had 5 called runs in 2 games. Once again, Eberflus, another idiot, is not utilizing what Justin Fields does best. I understand that he's got to make some plays because some of it's on him too. But at the same time, you got to put quarterbacks, you got to put players in positions to win. And if you're not going to take advantage of what he does best, then you're wasting them. They're going to draft another quarterback next year. They're going to lose, and they're going to have the first pick and the 5th pick.
By the way, Fox's game of the week, Bears at Chiefs.
Yeah,
I don't know why they
Patrick
picked that
Mahomes.
game.
Fox has an opportunity to broadcast a game that has Patrick Mahomes. That's
and
why.
Travis Kelce's back.
Right, exactly. Number 8 on the list, the second worst team in the National Football League. On my list, the Arizona Cardinals. Although they are playing hard.
They play great.
They play hard, but let's see where this list goes from here. Number 7 on the list, the Carolina Panthers, who news today, Bryce Young is out. Parker, great job on these graphics, by the way, my friend. Bryce Young out. Andy Dalton will start at Seattle this week.
The Red Rifle.
Absolutely. So bottom 3, Chicago, Arizona, Carolina. We continue to creep up.
No argument here.
At number 6, the Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud. Led by D'Amico Ryans, the head coach of the Houston Texans. They, too, are playing, I don't want to say good football, but they play hard, too. And they've got some C.J. Stroud. They've got Will Anderson. They're doing some nice things.
C.J. Stroud, best Ohio State quarterback to come out so far. I mean, it's only been 2 games, hell, but he looks like something. I'm going to have to roll with him right now until Justin Fields gets it together.
Number 5 on the list as we continue to get up there, the Denver Broncos. Are they going to make a change at quarterback? Is Sean Payton looking at Russell Wilson as this is the last game he's going to start? Because if they don't win, I do believe he will make a change. To be honest with you, I thought he would make a change after 0-2 because I think he wants Russ out.
Yeah, he does.
I think he does. But at 0-3, he will definitely push Russ out. But they too are playing pretty tough. They've lost 2 games this year by a combined 3 points.
Wow. Where's that defense at? That's my question. Not even about Russell Wilson. Maz, what did we talk about with this team last year? Their defense was exceptional.
It was
Russell
awesome.
Wilson could just score 17 points. They would have won a bunch of games last year. That defense has been non-existent. Where's Patrick Surtain been? Where's that defense been? That's a good question.
All right, I want to see who Denver plays this week. Denver plays at Miami.
Tough, 0-3.
At Miami.
We'll continue on here with the number 4 team on the list, the New England Patriots. New England at 0-2. You want to talk about a team that has been playing some fairly decent football, but, you know, it's hard to win, or excuse me, it's hard to open up in back-to-back weeks at home and come out with a 0-2 record. But the 2 teams they have played are 2 of the best teams in the league. They lost to Philadelphia by 5, and they lost to the Dolphins by 7. That is 2 really tough teams to open up against. And this, for New England, is a must-win game for me at the New York Jets. They've got to beat the Jets.
They beat them 14 straight times.
Zach Wilson against Bill Belichick.
14?
That is why I believe this is an
Last
absolute
time I played the
must-game.
Patriots and I was a Jet, we won. But I will say this: the defense of the Patriots is a real good defense, coached by Bill Belichick. They got some good players, Matthew Judon most notably. But on the offensive side, Ryan Ermanni, you cannot win this game in the NFL in 2023 without what? Offensive stars. And Bill Belichick refuses to go get stars. With Ramondre Stevens, he's not going to get it. You go get Ezekiel Elliott. He's on year 10 or 11 and is playing like he's on year 16. You got to have stars at the wide receiver position or the quarterback position. Mac Jones is just okay right now, but you don't have any help. He doesn't have any guys to make plays besides Ramondre Stevens. So until you get guys to make plays, Bill O'Brien only has so much he can do.
All right, now we go to the top 3 teams that are 0-2. I put the Minnesota Vikings in here. Minnesota at 3, just by virtue of playing in the NFC North and just by virtue of being in the NFC NFC. And they've got the best wide receiver in the game, a pretty decent quarterback. But the team is not as strong around them. Last year, they were 11-0 in one-score games. This year, 0-2. And they got another tough one this week, Minnesota and The Chargers at number 2 on this list. The LA Chargers are the second best 0-2 team. A lot of football to play for the LA Chargers, and that leaves, ladies and gentlemen, the best 0-2 team remaining out there, the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, anytime he's a quarterback of the team, he gives you a chance.
Probably not going to play this week.
Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals are the best 0-2 team.
I only have one question for that team. Was Zach Taylor a fraud? Did we anoint Zach Taylor as one of those type coaches too soon? Was it just a very good run with a damn good quarterback and just at the time a perfectly assembled team? 2 running backs, 3 receivers, 2 tight ends that worked. Did we give Zach Taylor too much credit too fast?
So water always finds its level. Back a couple of years ago, Zach Taylor's first year, he felt like a
Average
Brandon.
coach.
No, he felt like a really bad coach, a Brandon Staley type coach. Zach Taylor. Then in year 2 for Joe Burrow, he did, man. He got a second year. You get the Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl in your second year, and
had a chance to win.
Come on, man. You get all the accolades. But slowly but surely now we've seen him creep back down. So we'll see what he gets. And that's my list.
That's a damn good
great
list.
I think I think it's a pretty decent list. I mean, Cincinnati, the Chargers, Minnesota, New England.
I don't have any
Denver.
I think the biggest game is Vikings against the Chargers.
Yeah.
The loser's done.
Huge.
Has an 0-3 team made a playoff?
Yeah, I believe so. I think the Lions.
0-3?
The Lions started the year, I think 97. They were 0-3 and came back to win 6 in a row. And went 6-3, and then lost 3 in a row, and we're 6-6.
And then,
I think I got to look at that 1997 Lions team. But
0-3 is tough to crawl back from.
That's a tough cookie to crawl.
I gotta look at this
Somebody
1997 Lions.
Maybe,
probably.
Now with so many games, I mean, well, I ain't gonna say so many, but now you have an extra game now, so it gives you more room, more wiggle room.
They were
0-2.
They were not 0-3, but they were
1-3.
No, they were 6-6. Finished 97. Maybe I'm thinking of a different season. I don't know. 1995
it's hard.
Lions.
Pause. Like just frankly said.
I thought I could have swore the Lions were.
Tomorrow we'll do top 10 1-1 teams.
Oh, here you go. You ready? Yeah. 1995 Detroit Lions started 0-3, then won the next 6 games to go to 6-3. Oh no, I'm sorry. 0-3, and then 3-6, and then finished 10-6.
Oh wow.
0-3, 6-6. 10-6.
And they made the playoffs.
There you go.
They made the playoffs at 10-6.
There's your answer.
So there's got to be a few
They
teams
did not win
that
a
0-3.
playoff game.
There's got to be a few 0-3 teams.
I gotta be like
that
the
made
only
it.
team ever to go 10-6 and not make the playoffs.
Guys, break time. But first, a
Cleveland.
message from Planet Fitness.
Yes, Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and a 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training, and yes, they are still just $10 a month. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over
at work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Hey, guys, you got to stop at any Randy Wise dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity. We got it for you. The VIP transportation, free golf to one of Michigan's best tracks, and a tasty steak afterwards. Compliments of Fairway Packing Company. Make the wise decision. Get to a Randy Wise today for your chance to win.
Oh, yeah.
Win.
I apologize. JB, you just said Trayvon Diggs having an MRI on his knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what play that is? That's when number 17 from the Jets cooked his ass and was wide open. So, Trayvon, don't check 17 next time. You need to do better.
Maz, I want to come back to you.
Sure.
A couple of stories around the NFL that intrigued me. Not more, though, than Micah Parsons at tight end.
How about that? The Dallas Cowboys giving Micah Parsons a little something that he wants. Hey, I want to catch the ball. He saw Penei Sewell do it last year, so they're trying him out at tight end there, Braylon.
Man, this is foolishness. Like, I've never been a fan of Mike Vrabel. I know he did it at a high level. I think Mike Vrabel had something like 11 touchdowns, including, I think, 2 in Super Bowls. And it's cool, and I get it. And J.J. Watt, and it's cool, and you got athletic players like that. But all you need is this, Ryan Ermanni. Micah Parsons injured, running a tight end goal line route, or running a fade route, or running some trick play. Like, I get it. If it's something in the red zone, and it's just your athletic ability, fine. But if they're trying to make a package for Micah Parsons, you arguably have the most valuable player in the NFL not named Patrick Mahomes. Why are you trying to give him extra chores?
He probably wants it.
So a lot of people want things. That don't mean you give it to them. Like, at the end of the day, if it's a package down there, 2-yard line, quick pass or something, that's fine. But don't put a package in there and ruin the most valuable player in the NFL not named Patrick Mahomes. I'm not for it.
I'm not for it either. He does it well. And you know what's so funny, too, is...
Because Aiden could play tight end.
You know what's so great about the NFL? You got good players, you're a good coach. You got bad players, you're a bad coach. Dan Quinn has completely remade himself in Dallas as defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. And why? Because he's got Micah Parsons. You know, you see him up in the booth with his backwards hat,
DeMarcus Lawrence,
chewing on his pencil or whatever he's doing, and jumping and hooting and hollering. I'd be jumping and hooting and hollering too if I had Micah Parsons and lead my defense.
Well, you got certain players on your team. It's a lot easier in that booth when you're calling plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. When you're calling defense for the Dallas Cowboys, or you're calling defense for the San Francisco 49ers, I could close my eyes and be defensive coordinators for the 49ers and just pick plays. Hey, man, try that one. See what he does on that one. Guess what? Sack on a play by Nick Bosa. Some guys are just lucky, man, and they ride that wave.
Hey, Maz, what's the situation with Jimmy G?
Jimmy G, man, he's the master of the quarterback sneak. So Brock Purdy, last year when they were together, he was like, Jimmy, what's your secret to this quarterback sneak?
He learned from time.
So basically, Brock Purdy said Jimmy G told him to pound salt.
I mean, we always, try to figure it out. Like, what does Jimmy do so good with the QB sneak? Like, it's a question around, the team. And so, he just, found little creases and whatnot, but, got his shoulder pads down and would find a way. So that was really about it. I don't think there's necessarily a secret to it or anything, at least as far as I know. But we watched a lot of QB sneaks and stuff that Jimmy did well and what he did. So he did a good job with it, and I learned a couple things, but he never really told me. But yeah.
Jimmy always claimed there was a secret. He didn't want to tell anybody, so he never even told you.
No, I mean, nah. He just, nah. But it's all good, man. I love Jim.
Who don't love Jimmy G?
It is a fascinating discussion. And it feels like we talked about this with Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, too. Yep. It doesn't seem like that Aaron Rodgers was as accommodating to Jordan Love as he has been seemingly to Zach Wilson. Conversely, Jimmy Garoppolo, not so much. He had a secret in his game, and he wasn't going to tell Brock Purdy about it.
Yeah, well, kind of
Is that people do that?
Well, it's also the situation, too. Look how Aaron Rodgers, look at the situation with Jordan Love. Jordan Love was drafted as a first-round quarterback to his team, and he wasn't told about it. So that was already friction between he and the staff.
And no different than Tom Brady to Jimmy G.
Exactly.
Tom Brady didn't either.
Exactly. So when that happens, you're just automatically not going to like that person.
Right.
Like, it just happened at the quarterback position. At other positions, it's different. Like, the Cleveland Browns drafted a wide receiver when I was there, but we were cool. I'm like, he's not better than me, so.
Some guys, they just
speaking
hate
of
for no
quarterback
reason.
sneaks, nobody does it like the Eagles. They do that.
That's
it
not
looks like something from
That's
something from the 1930s.
That's rugby.
That's rugby.
Yeah, I mean,
is what that is.
They tried to make that illegal.
Yes,
it's the tush push.
But you can't.
You can't make it
because they've been doing this
Hopefully
since
this
Reggie
year.
Bush. They didn't call it in 2004, and they never called it since. 2004, yeah.
Guys, let me tell you that Woodward Sports has expanded its daily lineup. You know by now, Woodward Nights, Booter and Broder take you from 8 to 10 p.m. right here on Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Hottest takes, two young up-and-comers, Booter and Broder, 8 to 10, Woodward Nights here on WSN's YouTube channel. Guys, we're going to get a break in. Big weekend of college football ahead. And Dan Orlovsky compared Deion Sanders to this local group. We'll have that for you coming up. But first, a message from Mark White.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty at all? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates is offering. It's called their minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. That number again, 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your local plug open to midnight now in Romeo, where the guys will be tomorrow. 21 and up, recreation only. But look, it's the best place to go smoke your cannabis because they have the best way to consume your cannabis, whether it's edibles, whether it's flowers, whether it's oil, whether it's hash. They have it all. Come and enjoy yourself. And also, we're always out there, man. They're the best place. They're the best people. And you can also get some of that Honolulu Blue from Canna. See you there.
Hey, gang. Dan Orlovsky compared Deion Sanders to the Fab Five. The impact that the Fab Five had on basketball, Deion Sanders has on college football. I thought that was a brilliant comparison.
I like it.
I love it.
I got another one.
Okay.
The only reason why I'll say mine is Fab Five were five guys. All of them were 42 or 1 in terms of their recruiting placement. 3 of those guys were in the top 10. One of those guys was 11 and one guy was 42. Those guys were supposed to be successful. Now, not necessarily like that. I say Jeremy Lin. Like I equated to Jeremy Lin. You didn't expect
Linsanity?
You didn't expect Linsanity. Nobody expect Deion to do what he's done. And I understand. I didn't say root against is one thing. Expect what he's done is another thing. Nobody expected Linsanity. You didn't expect this to be Deion. I think the Fab Five, we expected them to be great.
Yeah, but Linsanity was a flash in the pan.
And they're about to get beat by 30 this week.
Are they?
I think so.
Really?
Deion's not a flash, man. He's a hell of a coach.
No, he's not, but right now he doesn't have what he needs, and that's the defensive line and the offensive line. I don't know. Maybe it was a good one.
He might get showed
The only
out.
difference, though, too, is it's so hard because there have been pro athletes, that have done it, but, like, to change the way the game is, like, looked at.
How about Shohei Ohtani?
No, well, even him, it's a pro. It's like
I started to like that Fab Five more.
Just because everybody started wearing the long pants and the black socks and the the baggy shorts and all that stuff. There was
glasses.
There was a swagger about them. Now you got everybody wanted. my buddy Jerry, that it's coming.
Yeah, of course.
He bought like 10 pairs of sunglasses to give to all his team.
The Colorado.
Deion Sanders. Like, this guy has just created this white, black, young, old man, woman. Like, everybody wants in on this guy.
This is true.
You know what I mean?
How much were those sunglasses?
Not like $60. You know?
$4.5 million he raised.
Yeah, I think they were like $67
on those sunglasses.
Yeah,
That's how much money that they made off of that.
Yeah,
I saw somebody. I was reading a back and forth conversation where the podcaster was, fielding calls, and a caller called in and was like, "Well, why is he a head coach selling sunglasses? Like, doesn't that take away from?"
Oh God,
that's the point though. He has changed the perception of the way what a college coach should be doing.
He's an NIL college coach.
With players, that's it.
Changed the NIL transfer portal.
There he is.
2023 coach.
He is the new
He's
coach.
not Joe Paterno.
The new face of college football.
Right?
He's not Jay Norvell.
And I never even, no offense to Jay Norvell.
He had his team ready.
Jay Norvell before this.
He had his team ready.
He did have his team ready, absolutely. But I never even heard of Jay Norvell.
Even though he put out Bounty Gate.
He definitely put a Greg Williams. But I will say this though, that quarterback, he threw 3 interceptions, but that dude Braden something, his last name I can't remember. His first name was Braden. That's easy for me to remember.
Hey Parker,
he balled. He had more yards than Shador.
Put up the college football weekend. I feel like college football starts this week.
Oh God, it's loaded.
College football
it's like
starts
8,
this week.
9 great games
this week. It is fantastic what we're going to get to see this weekend. There has been a game here and there in college football, but nothing like this week. You've got Colorado and Oregon at 3:30, Florida State, Clemson, Oklahoma and Cincinnati. That's where Big Noon Kickoff is. UCLA and Utah, Alabama, Ole Miss. Oregon State and Washington State's going to be a really good one. Notre Dame, Ohio State.
There you go.
Really good football this weekend. Iowa and Penn State, I think, is going to be good. And then Michigan Rutgers.
3 things. It's over for Dabo Swinney, 1. It's over for Nick Saban.
You think
2.
it's over?
It's been over for Dabo Swinney because he refuses to. Sometimes coaches get lucky, and Dabo Swinney is a good coach. Sometimes you get lucky. He caught a lucky streak with the recruiting down there in terms of that he had a great defensive tackle brigade for like 4 years, and he had Deshaun Watson as a quarterback, follows it up with Trevor Lawrence as a quarterback. So, I mean, sometimes you get lucky. He refuses to lean into the NIL. It's God's country or whatever he said. It's all about NIL should be God, blah, blah, blah. Like anything, he's done. He got rid of DJ Uiagalelei, who he wishes he had back right about now. He's balling at Oregon State. Nick Saban, you asked me that question last week, Ryan. I said no. If you would have asked me today, I said Nick Saban's in trouble.
I just don't think – I'll disagree with you on that. I think they're one quarterback away from winning the national championship.
But here's the thing.
Again.
You pick up a quarterback or you pick up an offensive coordinator and Tommy Rees from Notre Dame who wasn't that good. That's why he got let go. You allow him to destroy you in the first 3 games of the year. They start Jalen Milroe. You bench Jalen Milroe, you start another guy. Start another guy in the second half of that game. Then come back to Jalen Milroe this game. That offensive coordinator is destroying Nick Saban. And this is why I say Nick Saban might be done. Nick Saban wouldn't allow that to happen 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. He doesn't seem like he's in control. That's where the players are still there, but it doesn't seem like Nick Saban has control, which is hard for me to say because he always has control.
And that'll have to be the last word. Braylon, get us out of here.
Shout out to Big D Energy. The last word. Great show, you guys. It was fun. Like that list, man, Parker.
That'll be the final
Ryan.
word.
The final word. JB, you take the final word today.
Come on, JB, get us out of here.
You take the final word
Come
today.
on, JB.
Take the final word.
You got
All
the
right,
final
well,
word.
thank you everyone for tapping in with us here at Ermanni, Edwards, and Mass. Check us out tomorrow. We will be at Dispo in Romeo. Maybe you can pick up some of that glorious cannabis. Isn't that right, Braylon? Yeah, exactly. All right. For Parker, number 1, Braylon Edwards, Ryan Ermanni, Uncle Maz over here on the couch. We will see you tomorrow, and myself. We will see you tomorrow at Dispo. Peace.
We gone.